car, now I have a car, right? But I always get here and I always show up and actually show up. Who said show up and take notes, right? Mateo, right? Thank you for that, because some people show up for entertainment. This is not entertainment. When you actually learn this, the quicker you can get from being a trainee, right, which is your first stage, to a soloist, to a trainer, the quicker you can start training trainers. And that's when you start having people like Shondell, like me, under you, who now make you feel less frustrated because you have help on your team. Who wants that?
Yeah.
Right? So if you have less than 10 people in the room, 20% are only going to do 80% of it. So if you have less than 10, it's only you, by the way, because 20% of 10 is 2. So less than that is 1 point something of a person. Unless you have somebody like me who's half a person, you can't have half a person, okay? So the fast start meeting is such an important meeting that the trainer should be doing. So everybody in this room, if you've ever had the opportunity and have the opportunity to watch your trainer do a fast start meeting, which is the one-on-one in-person orientation, that is the most golden nugget you can get as far as a meeting. This is how you get somebody on a fast start. So the purpose of the fast start, like Samir said, is to extract names and numbers. Because in the car dealerships, what's the inventory there? Cars. In restaurants, what's the inventory there? Food, right? But here, our inventory is not people. We can't store people in a factory, right? That's illegal. So we have names and numbers. You got to extract names and numbers. And this is where you learn networking. And when you learn networking, you can use that anywhere, can't you? This is not a Primerica thing. So learn how to work through people, not with people, right? Recap Macho. So Macho, married, age 25 to 55. Have children, real children, not 30-year-old children living in their basement, okay? Homeowner or live on their own, and occupation, right? They actually have a consistent income and it's not Social Security income either, okay? So Macho, if somebody falls into 5 points or 4 points, that's somebody who is what we believe, right? And from the system working, that is a great client, okay? That is a client you want. That's a great client that's gonna stick around. But then the recruit characteristics, as far as trying to figure out who would make a great recruit, you want to learn how to communicate that too. I'm not going to go over everything today, but when I meet with somebody like D'Arius, I want to make sure that I turn his employee mindset into a business mindset as quick as possible. And that's instead of him focus on finding clients, I want him to focus on recruiting people, because when he owns his own business, he's going to have to learn that anyways, right? So you got to learn how to team build and acquire clients. So it's not that complicated. But before, if I can tell you what saved a lot of headache, my head coach, our head coach, Bruce, who makes 1.6 million a year passively, he said that the sooner you can figure out if somebody is worth your time or a waste of time, the sooner you'll grow. Okay, the faster you'll go. And everybody in here wants to grow fast, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
So if these 3 things are not met by a new person, I know they're not going to stay around long enough. They're not going to stick around. They're here for a season, not the reason that they told me. So 1, communication. I need to have a 5 to 10 minute relationship with that new recruit. I want to see if they can do this little thing right. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you text me, Josh, you call me, I'll get back to you within 5 to 10 minutes, unless I'm in a meeting. This is not my word for word script that I say, but I'm just sharing you guys my mentality. You get it? 2, coachability, right? Are you teachable? It's okay if you have questions, but don't question everything, okay? What are the right questions? Hey, can I show up to Monday? Is that a meeting I can show up to? That's the right question. I'm excited to work with that person, right? When Crystal came in, hey, can I come on Wednesday? Like, is it okay? That's the right question. Hey, is it okay if I can bring people? Not, do I have to bring people? Do I have to recruit people? What are you talking about, right? So I look at these little things up front. I never say you're the wrong person, but I know if they're worth more of my time or not, because I need a return on my investment too, which is what you guys would like also, right?
Yes.
And then 3 is always show up. I was a cheerleader, so if somebody didn't show up to practice on time as well, meaning like 15 minutes early, right? Because on time is late and late is on time, right? For those of you guys who don't know, 9:30 is when we start. But showing up early, okay, is on time. If you don't show up, I have to reschedule all your client appointments. Why? I'm only one person, and I know what I can do for you, Shondell. When I finish training you, you're going to be making $500 in an hour versus 50 hours at your job. I'm going to give you back your life with the skills that you're going to learn. You're going to get back time, right? That you lost to that job that won't ever give it back to you. That's my mentality when I talk to Shondell. But if you don't show up, how can I train you, right? So I do move appointments, but only because I can. If you guys are not in that position, don't move appointments, right? But if you have double booked appointments, and if I have 10 appointments for Crystal and Dearius, he'll never do this, but if Dearius starts skipping training, why would I train him? He's not going to be a great advisor. He's not going to be a great leader anyways, right? That's not going to happen, right? Right? But I want to spend time with Crystal because I know Crystal is going to get the most out of her time because she's got everything she needs, right? So it's a win-win. But one of the things that's really important is financial goals. So when I get here, I actually ask 2 questions. Number 1, Dearius, how much would be enough for you to make just part-time starting out? For you to just stay here part-time? On top of your job, extra. 2,500. Okay. And how much would be enough for you to leave your job and not have to look anywhere else for income? From
5,000.
5,000 to 6. That's the normal number that I get. Most people are going to give you 5,000 to 6. So when I do an orientation, I'm looking to see how fast I can move them from trainee to trainer where they can make 5,000 a month. Where else are you going to be at where the person training you wants you to make 5,000 a month and be able to replace your job and have more time, right? So, but it's not about the money, it's what the money can do. People are not going to stay here long term just because they make a lot of money. Some people are, but most people will not. They need to have a purpose here. So defining their why is one of the most important things you can do. You can make 5,000 at a normal job and work whatever hours a week, right? But if I can teach you how to make 5,000 here in your own time, control of your time, and you can do what you want with your family, like what are your top goals? If Dearius says, I want to run my own business, right? That's cool, right? Everybody says it, it sounds good, right? And he may say that's his number 1 goal. What else is really important? If I ask, who do you want to help that you feel you can't right now financially or time-wise? Financially or time-wise? Because some people like Jack make 6 figures, right? How can I motivate him? If he makes 6 figures in corporate, he works a lot of hours, right? So he's not money poor, he's time poor. So I need to know, what would you do if you feel you can't do now, money-wise or time-wise, right? So if he says, I want to travel, to Hawaii and have more time with my family, take them on vacations, take my son, right? That's important to me to know. If they say I want to retire my mom, right? Because it's not Primerica, it's your mom, right? I almost quit 28 days in, 25 days in, sorry. And my trainer, he said 2 things. You can't give up on your mom, you can't give up on your team. He never said you're going to make a lot of money, you can't give up on a lot of money. It doesn't work, right? I stayed because of those 2 questions he asked me, right? Or those 2 things he asked me. So you got to figure out their why. That's what's going to save your recruit, right? And they deserve you to be strong on that. Don't be weak on people or else, and when your trainer is strong on you, it actually is something that's a compliment because they feel you can handle that. If they didn't think you can handle it, they wouldn't call you out. They think you're weak, too weak to handle it, right? So thank God your trainer calls you out and they do. Kryptonite. So these are the things that I look at before I get to script about how to get a list. Superman, his kryptonite is what kills him, right? Kryptonite is what kills Superman. Nothing can kill Superman. What kills you in this business? The newest recruit, if they wait till they're licensed to do anything, they're done for. If you just send them to class, they're done for. Before Dearius went into class, how many appointments did you do? 4. It was 4. I didn't train you, right? But he went on 4 appointments that week before he went to licensing class, right? His first weekend. Jack went on like 3 appointments, right? Before he was licensed, before he passed his test. So they need to see the field, or else when they get into class, they're done for. So don't let your recruit control the system. They don't know how to run a business, or else they would have been doing it. You don't want to be a professional meeting attender. What Samir said was, this is a business school, and it really is. It's also a finance school. The worst thing you can get here, and it's not worse, right? But the bare minimum is at least learn more about your financial position. But you're not going to get paid doing that if you don't utilize what you learn here, right? So don't just come to the meeting, get out of the meeting what you can, take the best, leave the rest. but do work outside of meetings. So as soon as we're done here, I want to teach somebody like Darius how to set appointments on his own as soon as possible, okay? Because if they're not on appointments, they're not making money. So I'm not going to go over this, but these are the training times that I remind them to. And one thing I do say is I say, hey, Shondell, our week starts Saturday to Friday. Just like at your job, they give you a schedule every week more so, right? Or 2 weeks in advance or whatever, they give you a schedule. So here we teach you how to run your own schedule, own your own profitable schedule. So it's really important for you to sit in Blitz and be around everyone and look around to see who's on the phone, because those are the people that are making the most money and getting the most out of it. But you're never going to get an email to remind you, Shondell. So it's our responsibility as adults to make sure that you put this on your calendar, because if you can do those little things right, we know you can work your own schedule. Fair? Yeah. So I don't really confirm, right? Darius, I don't confirm. I don't ever ask, hey, are you coming to the meeting? I don't want to have to do that. You should know, and you should be able to keep track of it, because how are you going to be a business owner? So let's get fast forward. So this part right here that I'm going to do word for word, just rewatch the recording if you don't get everything, on paper yet or on your Google Docs if you're taking notes there. This is where you start extracting names and numbers. So what I find is that when you put a list down, right, the old way we used to do it, and we say dump your phone numbers down on this list, people start trying to, what's the word called, Samir? Filter. Yeah, thank you. People start trying to filter, and they try to assume somebody's interested or not. Well, did you guys know somebody broke me off their list? They crossed me off their list. They crossed me off their list. But you know what? Every time I make 100 grand, Shaq's gonna make 100 grand on me. Can we agree that was an expensive assumption? Right? He saw me a year later at a big event on stage. And he said, man, I shouldn't have crossed you off my list. I didn't think you're gonna be interested. Don't do that, right? Yeah. Big mistake, small mistake. You don't want to make a big mistake and lose out on that. So roll it with, can I use you, Shondell? Okay. So as soon as we get on Zoom, do you have any questions at all, or are you ready to get into work? Ready to get into work. Okay, awesome. So I want you to get a blank sheet of paper out, and I want you to create 4 columns really quick, and I want you to title them family, one friends, one coworker / classmates, and one professionals. Okay. Now, this is called a 4-minute name game. The purpose of this game is for me to make it easy for you to put down as many first names as possible that come to mind. No other factors included, except they do have to be in the United States, and they have to be 18 or older, okay? And you only have 1 minute to put down as many first names as possible. Each column. We're just going to go one column at a time. So, ready on family, right? As many first names as possible. Ready, set, go. Okay, so once the minute ends, right? I don't interrupt her. Once the minute ends, we stop. Great job, Shondell. How many did you get down? 6. Awesome. Now you gotta beat your own record. Okay. So the next are friends. You probably don't have 50 best friends in the world, but good associates can go down here as well. Side note, I say that because I have heard so many times people like, oh my God, I don't have any friends. I'm tired of hearing that. Okay. That is like the dumbest thing somebody can say, because how are you going to network and grow in life if you don't have the right people around you? We got to grow your network, right? So, but I don't have that many friends. I'm going to overcome that up front. So you don't have to put all of the 50 best friends down, but good associates can go down here as well. Ready, set, go. Okay, then done. How many did you get down? 10. Great job. Okay, next are coworkers and classmates. So here it's going to get more challenging. I don't want you to repeat anybody. You cannot repeat any names, okay, that you already put down. But you can include old coworkers or old classmates if you still have contact with them. Ready, set, go. All right, and so on. All right, time's up. How did you do? 9. Oh, 1. Okay. Next are professionals. Now these people, they maybe have a side hustle. You may have done business with them. They're your coach. They're your mentor. They're your hairstylist, your nail salon tech, your personal stylist. If you have one of those, an Uber driver, you got a number 2, right? Randomly. But ready, set, go. All right. So after she's done, right? That's 4 minutes. By 5 minutes into the meeting, you got a bunch of names down. So Shonda, I want you to take your time on this next step because I don't want you to miss anyone. Go ahead and circle anyone you know for sure to your knowledge if they're married or engaged. Let me know when you're done. Okay, awesome. Now, whether or not you circled them, I want you to put a star next to their name if you know for sure they have young kids under 18. Whether or not you circle them, put a star next to their name if you know for sure they have young kids under 18 years old. Okay, let me know when you're done. Okay, awesome. So what I want you to do, side note, by this time, they should be on Telegram now. So what I have them do is take a picture. What I want you to do, Shonda, send me a message, a picture of this list that you just took, and then check your email. Okay? So she sends me a picture, and what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna pull up this list here. I'm gonna have a blank list already curated. Okay? And it's gonna have the trainee's name here, okay? Whatever state they're in, etc. Their schedule should be on here already. But I already have everything filled out, and then their goal should be over here. Because if they try to quit on me, guess what? They forget why they're here. I have it right here. Right? I can go back to the list and remember why they even started for them. Right? They deserve that. So this is the list right here. And I email it to Darius while he's sending me the picture. Okay. Once he sends me the picture, all I do is just type the names out. And then I mark whoever is married with kids and kid, right? However you want to mark it. And that way, once the list is done, you can see on this side, right? This column, you can see who's qualified or not qualified. So now, and then you know what numbers they have, what they don't have. So you can train your recruit, your new person, on how to categorize people, right? Whoever's going to be better on the recruit side, whoever's going to be more targeted as a potential client, who you can set QAs with. Good, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward, we put down all the numbers, and now I get into explaining more about the two skill sets. So this is typically my second meeting with the recruit, what we just all did with the 4-minute name game. Because the first part was all expectations, getting their schedule live, things like that, right? The second part was getting all the names and numbers. So now we're at names and numbers. The fastest thing you need to do is set an appointment. Do not leave that recruit without setting an appointment. Because if you let them dump all these numbers down and then you let them go without them hearing you do a call and setting somebody up for you, they got all these doubts in their mind and they're like, holy crap, what is he or she gonna do with my numbers, right? They start thinking about all these things. Then they got time to talk to people, and you didn't give them a chance to hear that the script actually works, right? Daniel, when you first heard, right, a STEAM script, a STEAM call, any call at all that I did for you, what was your belief level like afterwards?
Shot right up.
Shot right up, right? One call. That's all it takes, right? So, Darius. So the next step we're gonna do, okay, is we're going to work on helping you set up recruiting appointments and client appointments. Remember, those are two skill sets that you're going to learn here. But when we set up a recruiting appointment, the purpose is to get them to the opportunity meeting, the op meeting, which is a hiring event, okay? And the purpose of setting up a client appointment is for your field training right now. That's that qualified appointment we talked about, okay? But there's 2 steps to each, no matter if you're setting a recruiting appointment or a client appointment. Recruiting appointment, step number 1, this is a lot like basketball. You throw me the ball and I shoot until you learn how to shoot to make the hoop. Does that sound fair? Yeah. So first step to a recruiting appointment is a 3-way text message where it's a group message where you put together, you send a work opportunity message to somebody you would refer to our work opportunity, our business opportunity. Why do I need to be on that text? Because as soon as they respond, yay or nay, I know at least they're expecting my call or they want me to call. Does that sound fair? I don't want to call anybody who doesn't want to be called. It doesn't expect my call. Is that fair? Cool. What I just did was overcome. I want to talk to them first before you call them. They're going to tell you they want the call or not, you know? And then the next step, Darius, is where I, as your trainer, use a STEAM script. That's the interview script we use, which you'll see. Now, if we're setting up a QA for your field training, the first step is for you to send a 3-way message listing that person as a character reference and say good things about you working with families. Because if they can't say good things about you, do you think they're going to help you? No. So I need to know how they feel about you before I call and I use my character reference script as your trainer to set that up for you. Okay. So we're going to go through this, but not everyone's going to become a recruit. Not everybody's going to join your team, become a client. It's not a perfect world, but everybody can lead us to somebody, can't they? So I'm going to teach you how to work not with people, but through people. Sounds good? Okay, let's get started. So then we set the three-way text messages, right? And just address concerns if there are any. But normally there's not any answered all of them. That's it, guys.